Volkswagens have a reputation problem. Great to drive, fun to own, and, according to the internet, guaranteed to fall apart the second the warranty expires. Here's the thing. That reputation isn't really about the cars. It's about how they get treated. Because the VWs that die at 90,000 miles and the VWs that cruise past 250,000 are usually the same car. Same engine, same transmission, same factory. The only difference is what the owner did or didn't do along the way. Volkswagen doesn't build a forgiving car. It builds a precise one. Tight tolerances, direct injection, plastic cooling components, a transmission that actually wants its fluid changed. Skip the small stuff and it punishes you. Stay ahead of it and it'll outlive cars that cost twice as much. So in this video, I'm walking you through 10 things that will genuinely make your Volkswagen last twice as long. Not vague advice like change your oil, real, specific, VW-focused stuff. The maintenance items, the habits, and the cheap parts that quietly decide whether your car makes it to 200,000 miles or dies in a repair shop parking lot. Let's get into it. Number 1. Cut your oil change interval in half and use the right spec. Yes, we're starting with oil, but not the way you think. Volkswagen's own long life service schedule says you can go 10,000 miles between oil changes. On paper, that's fine. In the real world, short trips, stop-and-go traffic, cold starts, a turbo that runs hot, it's the single fastest way to kill a modern VW engine. Here's why it matters more on a VW than on almost anything else. Turbocharged TSI and TDI engines cook their oil. That heat breaks it down early, and once it starts to sludge, it doesn't just hurt the bearings. It starves the timing chain tensioner, and the timing chain tensioner is the part that turns a healthy EA888 into a $4,000 paperweight. Stretched chain, jump timing, bent valves. Game over. The fix costs about $60. Change your oil every 5,000 miles. That's it. That's the whole trick. If you drive mostly short distances or you're hard on the throttle, tighten it to 4,000. You will never regret a premature oil change. And use the correct specification. This part is non-negotiable. Not 5W40 is 5W40. Volkswagen publishes an approval standard, and your engine needs the one printed in your owner's manual. Most modern gas TSI engines want VW5 02.00. Newer EA888 Gen 3 and Gen 4 engines often call for VW5 08.00. Diesels take 507.00. These aren't marketing numbers. They're specific chemistry requirements for VW's tolerances and emissions hardware. Grab the wrong jug because it was on sale at the parts store, and you've just added wear to an engine that was designed assuming you wouldn't. Do this one thing religiously, and you've already handled the #1 cause of premature VW engine failure. Everything else on this list builds on it. Number 2, replace the water pump and thermostat housing before they fail. Volkswagen builds a lot of its cooling system out of plastic. It works great right up until it doesn't. The water pump housing, thermostat housing, and coolant flanges all go brittle with heat cycles. They don't leak slowly and warn you. They crack, dump coolant in minutes. And if you're unlucky enough to be on the highway when it happens, you're looking at a warped head or a blown gasket. A $500 job becomes a $3,500 one. So treat it as a maintenance item, not a repair. Around 80,000 to 100,000 miles. Replace the water pump and thermostat housing as a set. And on chain-driven engines, do it while the timing service is already open. Same labor, half the cost. Also, check your coolant reservoir once a month. If the level is creeping down and you can't find a puddle, that's not topping off. That's a warning. Catch this one early and it's routine. Catch it late and it's the reason someone sells a perfectly good VW at 120,000 miles. Number 3, actually change the transmission fluid, especially if you have a DSG. Volkswagen will tell you some of their transmissions are filled for life. Ask any independent VW shop what that means, and they'll tell you the same thing. Filled for the life of the warranty. If you've got a DSG, the dual clutch automatic, this is the most important item on this entire list after oil. A DSG isn't a traditional automatic. It's essentially two computer-controlled manual gearboxes sharing a case, and it relies on clean, pressurized fluid to operate the clutch packs and the mechatronic unit. That mechatronic unit is the brain, and it is brutally sensitive to dirty fluid. Let the fluid degrade and you get jerky low-speed shifts, hesitation from a stop, shuddering in first and second. People assume that's just how DSGs feel. It isn't. That's a transmission telling you it's in trouble. Ignore it long enough, and you're replacing a mechatronic unit, easily $2,500 to $4,000. Change wet DSG fluid and filter every 40,000 miles. Every time, it's a few $100s, and it's the difference between a transmission that lasts 250,000 miles and one that fails at 110,000. Got a conventional automatic instead? Same principle, flush it every 60,000. Manual, gear oil every 60,000 to 80,000, and it's cheap. Nothing about a VW transmission is lifetime. Treat it like the wear item it is. Number 4, register the battery when you replace it. This is the one almost nobody talks about, and it quietly kills VW electrical systems every day. Here's what happens. Your battery dies, you buy a good one, swap it in yourself in 15 minutes, and feel great about saving $200. 18 months later, it's dead again. Plus, random warning lights, start-stop that quit working, and a phantom drain nobody can trace. That's not a bad battery. That's a battery the car doesn't know exists. Modern Volkswagens run an intelligent charging system that tracks the battery's age, type, and capacity, then adjusts alternator output based on how worn it thinks the battery is. An older battery gets a higher charging voltage to compensate, so drop in a fresh one without telling the car, and the computer keeps pushing that aggressive voltage into new cells, cooking them from day one. The fix takes about 4 minutes. The battery's capacity and chemistry have to be written into the module. Any independent VW shop will do it cheap, or pick up an OBD11 or VCDS adapter and handle it yourself from then on, and match the spec exactly. If the car came with AGM, put AGM back in. VW chose that chemistry for a reason. Registered, a battery lasts 6 or 7 years. Unregistered, you'll be lucky to get 2, and it'll take other components down with it. Number 5, deal with carbon buildup before it deals with you. Almost every modern VW uses direct injection, great for power and efficiency, with one big side effect. Fuel gets sprayed straight into the cylinder, which means it never washes over the intake valves. So oil vapor from the PCV system bakes onto those valves and hardens into carbon. By 60,000 to 80,000 miles, you get rough cold starts, a stumble at low RPM, misfires, and a slow drain on power that's hard to notice because it happens gradually. Most owners just assume the car's getting old. It isn't. It's choking. Plan on a walnut blasting service every 60,000 miles or so. It's a few $100s, and the car comes back feeling genuinely new. In between, a quality catch can and sticking to the correct oil spec will slow the buildup down considerably. Ignore it, and the misfires eventually cost you coils, plugs, and cats. Stay ahead of it, and it's just routine upkeep. Number 6, change how you drive when the engine's cold and when you shut it down. Everything so far has cost you money. This one's free, and it might matter more than half the list. Cold oil is thick. Right after a cold start, it hasn't reached the turbo bearings, the timing chain tensioner, or the top of the head yet. Most of the wear a VW engine accumulates over its entire life happens in those early moments. So don't sit in the driveway idling for 10 minutes either. That glazes cylinders and washes fuel into the oil. Start it, let it settle for a few seconds, then drive gently. Keep it under 3,000 revolutions per minute until the oil is actually warm. And check oil temperature, not coolant. Most VWs will display it in the cluster, and coolant comes up to temp long before the oil does. Shutting down matters just as much. A turbo spins north of 150,000 revolutions per minute and runs glowing hot. Kill the ignition, and oil flow stops instantly. But the turbo keeps spinning, and whatever oil is left in those bearings bakes into carbon. Do that enough times, and the shaft develops play. So after a highway run or any hard driving, let it idle for a moment before you switch off. Pull in, unbuckle, grab your things, then shut it down. And the quiet killer nobody thinks about: short trips. A 5-minute run to the shops never gets the engine hot enough to burn off moisture and fuel in the oil. Carbon builds faster, diesels never regenerate the DPF properly, and the battery never fully recovers from the start. If that's most of your driving, take one longer run a week at proper temperature and let the car clean itself out. None of this appears on a service schedule, but take 2 identical Volkswagens with identical maintenance. The one driven this way will still be going strong long after the other's been traded in. Number 7. Fix small leaks and rattles immediately, not eventually. Volkswagens rarely die from one big failure. They die from a small problem that was ignored long enough to take something expensive with it. A weeping valve cover gasket drips oil onto a coil pack. Now you've got misfires. A torn CV boot flings its grease out, dirt gets in, and a $30 boot becomes a $400 axle. A worn control arm bushing lets the wheel shift under load, and suddenly you're eating tires and chasing an alignment that never quite holds. A rattle from the timing cover on a cold start is the tensioner warning you, months before it lets go. None of those feel urgent. The car still drives fine. That's exactly the trap. VWs are tightly packaged, so failures don't stay contained. One soaked component takes out the one next to it. Make it a habit to look under the car every few months. Check for wet spots, cracked rubber, anything hanging where it shouldn't. And when the car makes a new noise, don't wait for it to get louder. The cheapest repair on a Volkswagen is almost always the one you do early. Number 8, keep water out of the places it shouldn't be. This is the one that catches people completely off guard because it has nothing to do with the engine. Volkswagens route rainwater through drains, under the windshield cowl, in the sunroof channels, along the rear hatch. Those drains clog with leaves, pine needles, and general road grime. When they do, the water doesn't just sit there, it finds a way inside. And on a modern VW, inside usually means directly onto a control module. Water gets into the passenger footwell and reaches the body control module. It pools under the carpet and corrodes the wiring harness. And you don't get a warning light. You get bizarre, unrelated electrical faults, windows that stop working, random warnings, a car that won't start on a Monday and starts fine on Tuesday. Owners chase those ghosts for months and thousands of dollars before someone lifts the carpet and finds it soaked. The prevention takes 10 minutes, twice a year. Clear the cowl drains at the base of the windshield, flush the sunroof drains with water, and check that it comes out at the bottom of the car. Every so often, press your hand into the carpet in each footwell and feel for damp. Costs you nothing. Saves you from the single most miserable problem a used VW can have. Number 9. Stop buying the cheapest parts you can find. There's a specific kind of Volkswagen owner who saves $50 and then spends $2,000. VW parts are expensive, so the temptation to go budget is real. But this is a platform where component quality genuinely decides how long the car lives. Cheap ignition coils fail in a year, and take a catalytic converter with them when they misfire. Off-brand oil filters use inferior bypass valves and let unfiltered oil circulate at cold start. Bargain coolant that isn't G12 or G13 spec reacts with the aluminum in the block and quietly eats the cooling system from the inside. And spark plugs are the classic one. Wrong heat range, wrong gap, and a turbocharged engine will pre-ignite its way to a damaged piston. Here's the good news. You don't need dealer parts. Volkswagen doesn't manufacture most of this stuff anyway. The same suppliers who build the factory components, the ones stamping out the pumps, sensors, filters, and coils, sell those parts under their own names for a fraction of the dealer price. That's the sweet spot. Genuine quality, no dealer markup. Buy from the manufacturer who made the original, not the cheapest listing on the page. Your VW was engineered around specific tolerances, and it notices when you ignore them. Number 10. Find an independent VW specialist and stay with them. Every tip on this list works better when one person is watching the car over time. Chain shops and quick lube places don't know Volkswagens. They'll pour in the wrong oil spec because the viscosity matched. They'll tell you the transmission is sealed for life. They'll miss a weeping thermostat housing because they don't know it's the thing that always goes. The dealer knows the car, but you're paying dealer rates and following the factory schedule, the one with those 10,000-mile oil changes. An independent VW specialist is the sweet spot. They see the same failures every week. They know which model years have the bad water pump and what a stretched timing chain sounds like on a cold start. They've got the proper scan tool, and they'll tell you what's coming in 6 months instead of waiting for it to strand you. Better still, they build a history with your car. 5 years in, they notice the coolant creeping down before it becomes a head gasket. Find one before you need one. Ask in a local VW group, then start with something small like an oil change. So there it is. 10 things that decide whether your Volkswagen sails past 250,000 miles or gets traded in at 90,000 with a check engine light and a story. And notice what none of them were. None were expensive. None were complicated. No secret modification, no magic additive. Just oil intervals, cooling parts, transmission fluid, a coated battery, and paying attention when the car tries to tell you something. Volkswagen doesn't build a disposable car. It builds a demanding one. Meet those demands, and it'll outlast vehicles that cost twice as much. If this helped, hit subscribe here at Volkswagen Hub and drop a like while you're at it. It genuinely helps these videos reach other VW owners. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the highest mileage you've ever gotten out of a Volkswagen, and what finally went wrong? Tell me in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.